Beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Now, now that was one of the purest, one of the purest shows that we had when I was coming up. And no, Mr. Rogers, I remember seeing a video not too long ago where he was talking about, um, he was talking about, they were showing he was like washing a black man's feet, and that's like, I guess, washing the sins away or something. I don't know, but I think he was washing the black man's feet. Um, that was a powerful video. I don't know if y'all remember that video. I could have sworn I seen a video where I think he was washing a black man's feet. He was doing something. I could have sworn, unless I'm tripping, but he wasn't washing his feet. I was incorrect about that. He asked him to join. I don't know where I got the feet from. He asked him to put his shoes, to put his feet in the pool with him, during that turbulent time. So I was incorrect with that.
In the set, isn't it? I'm Mr. Rogers, but around here they call me Mr. Rogers Neighborhood Crip.
I could have sworn I've seen that video. I'll look it up and see if I can find it and throw it in this video. But me and this lady were talking about the other week, how, Nintendo did a pretty good job on keeping things pure. For the most part, they didn't really put no funny dud stuff for the kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I didn't see it. Even the Super Mario Brothers movie that came out, I didn't really see no funny dud stuff. I didn't really see no back behind the, no wolf in sheep's clothing stuff. Not that I can detect. They might have had a few nuances of things, maybe, but there's nothing that I would have said, okay, this is inappropriate for my child to watch. And so I was kind of thinking about that. We just doing a little digital journal today. It is a very, very beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I stay in a pretty decent neighborhood, I'm gonna have to leave soon, but I stay in a pretty decent neighborhood. I guess it's decent considering what's decent. I was thinking about something the other day when it came to like the shutdown. And I was like, okay, I was saying these senators and these politicians, they shouldn't be getting paid if the TSC and other people getting paid. I don't know if ICE getting paid, but they shouldn't be getting paid, man. And I was walking in the Walgreens the other day, and I noticed that there wasn't hardly nobody up in there on a Friday. I thought that was a little odd, but I think the key people that should be front in line is people that are unable to work, like physically unable to work, or disabled kids and elderly. Everybody else, you need to get your ass up and work at some point. I'm talking to the people that don't. I'm not talking about the folks that, they need an extra helping hand or something like that. But if you don't work and you refuse to work and you able-bodied, you should fucking starve. That's how I feel. You should starve. If you're willing to work, I'm saying. I never believe, and I believe this as a kid, I never believed that a grown-ass person that refuses to work should eat nothing. I think you should get starved and die. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And if people want to get biblical about it, that's even more proof. Like, but if you're willing to work and you down on it shouldn't be something where you just, because see, and the bottom line is the number one SNAP beneficiaries is white women. I'm starting to see that black folks is getting the brunt of it. And a lot of black folks are getting online, acting a fool and doing all that. They ain't really making it no better. But those are the number one beneficiaries. The number one is white women. It's always been welfare. They've always been the biggest welfare queens. Always. But Jerome and Bushika, they always get the propaganda piece. So at the same time, hear me out, at the same time, I can understand why somebody will come in, because there's some PTSD in that. You could come in and they might be like, well, yeah, I'm stealing from the store. Now, I don't think that's a good idea to be getting online and telling nobody that. But I can understand where they, as a foundation, they're like, well, man, shit, I ain't getting no reparations. This is my reparations. That's not no reparations. But, you know, see, y'all got to understand it's a psychological thing with somebody. If their attitude is white mommy and white daddy always gonna have my back. I had to get that out of my system. I always been a hustler. But the thing is, I remember one time I was doing a transition in my IT job. I think I was in between jobs. I went down to the state just like anybody else. I said, look, all I need is a couple $100 just to get me through the week. You know what this white man told me? I think I told y'all that story before. Oh, we ain't really trying to help no folks that want nothing. He told me that. He said, you see them long line of folks that's sitting up there? They be coming up in here every day. They ain't trying to work. They ain't trying to do nothing. He said, you different. You're against the status quo. This is a white Republican man. I could tell he was a conservative around that time, but I didn't really understand those labels or really, but I was young and he was like, man, you are different. I said, what you mean? He said, you ain't going to be coming back down here. They ain't really trying to help nobody like that. I said, man, he said, well, what you going to do if this happens again or there's a job? I said, what's the difference between them? They ain't trying to work at all. He said, I'm telling you, he said, son, I'm trying to get you into the mindset. They don't want to help a young black man that wants shit. They don't. They would rather you sit up there and collect your little $800 in your EBT and be sitting back. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. They would much rather you sit up there and collect your EBT and just be a nothing to society. He said, that's no threat. He said, you are a threat. You're a major, major threat. Cause I know you don't want to be down here. He said, but that's not what this system is for. They want you down here on your knees coming to me every 6 months because you don't want to do shit. That was powerful. I never forgot that. And I think I told y'all before when I did the story where the guy says, we were talking about IT because he used to be in IT and I don't know how he ended up down there at the county, at the plaza. But he says, yeah, I used to do IT and stuff like that or whatever. And I don't know, he probably figured government job, he's going ahead and retire. So he says, well, this is what a salary looked like. He showed me like a sheet or something like that. And he said, this is what the salary looks like in IT. And I said, oh, I was on some real nigga shit. I said, oh, I could buy me a nice car with that. Dude just looked down and shook his head just like this. And I said, what? He says, home, sir, not car, home. And I just sat there. He said, mortgage, son. Didn't your dad tell you that? Not a car, not a Cadillac, he said. No Cadillacs. Home. Get the Cadillac after you get the home. And I'm like, damn. He just looked so disgusted when I said car. Because when I said, yeah, I could buy me a nice car. He said, and he just went just like this. Like, Lord. And he says, home, son. Not a Cadillac, a home. Get the home, then you buy the Cadillacs. Okay? He said, didn't your parents tell you about 401k or homes or equity or any of that or HELOCs or all that? I said, what's a HELOC? And he shook his head again. And he said, all right, sir, son, I don't know, hey, home. He just said home. And he gave me my paper. He said, all right, you get your little EBT for a couple weeks or whatever like that. And I, because I told him when I came in there, I said, man, Because at first they was going to deny me. They weren't going to help me. I said, I will never come back down in this bitch again. Never. And I ain't been back since. I said, I don't. Yeah, that long line of folks just sitting up there. No, that's not me. That's not where I'm going to be. You know, if I'm down on my luck bad enough, but man, that's just not me, man. That ain't me. So I said, man, you know, I had to damn near beg them to give me that little couple $100. All I needed was just a transition in between. And that's really what it's supposed to be for. Here's a bigger issue. They say that the Democrats are holding it up. They probably is. I don't know. They probably is. Those bastards are probably still sore at getting their ass whooped in the elections, and the black American freemen. We said, fuck y'all. We'll just be uncomfortable. We've already been uncomfortable. There's nothing more you could do to us than what you had already did. Check this out. What if I were to come up with this theory? I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on. So let's say they could keep the government shut down to cause civil unrest. Food prices could go up. You got to build more jails because folks talking about they're going to be out there stealing. The police probably going to have to be out there. The police going to have to be out there at all these Walmarts and these Cubs and all these different places. What you've now done is you have easily modified and upset the economic shift in America, which could be cataclysmic. Is that a damn word? If it could be catastrophic or have catastrophic effects across the world, because America is a world power, right? So I'm thinking if you cut the EBT, maybe the Democrats, because they're working together on this. I want y'all to understand. This is the public pretender and the prosecutor, the DA, the judge. They all know each other. So I want y'all to just understand this part. What if they're upsetting the economic shift to bring in the new digital system? But now, here's the thing. If that's the case, what better way to cause civil unrest? Bless you. What better way? Turn these up a little bit. What better way to cause civil unrest? See, that's how you know it's getting warmer, because you seeing the yellow jackets out there. In the backyard, I did a video with the apple tree where the yellow jackets, man, they going up. So I might bring them out in the back. We got stung back there that one time. Y'all check out my other channel, the Hornets Nest 5000. I'm about to start getting back in my nature stuff. The Hornets Nest 5000. That's my other channel. So, and basically it's based off of me and my son getting stung by some yellow jackets, by some hornets. And I just start posting animal pics because I told you I used to want to be like the first black National Geographic person. All right, hold on. Oh, he's smiling. Okay, so I had another idea. I can't think, man. But let's say you cause civil unrest. You might be able to force people to come back and vote. Oh, the Republicans messed this up, or the Democrats messed this up, whatever. So you get people back in there to, to vote maybe, or because the food shelves get food from where? They get food from the grocery stores, which throw all the expired stuff out. We live in a society where there's more than enough food for everybody. When y'all start hearing about government debt and all this BS about we ain't got no money, we ain't got money for reparations, we don't have this, we don't have that, there's tons of money in the military, somebody just gave them $150 million donation, the politicians, those bastards are still getting paid, and you got people down the street, they can't feed themselves. Whether they some lazy MFers or whether they're just not able-bodied or whatever the case it may be. let's just say at this point, I don't care at this juncture of the conversation. They're telling the American people that they ain't got no money, but they can create missiles. The money magically appears as long as they start giving the money in for foreign aid and all kind of other little stuff. The money gets magically appeared when you got somebody fresh off the boat that can't speak the King's English, and they can get 3,000 to 5,000. That's another thing. We'll bring over an underclass, a buffer class, to upside Americans and upside black Americans and pay them less. And then now we ain't got no more money for them. So now you have a system in distress. Then we can cut the Medicaid, cut the medical, cut the EBT, and cause hell and civil unrest. Is that possible? I'm asking y'all. That's my theory. Is that possible? Is that something that they could do? There was an economic shift in the pandemic. Then prices went up. They never came back down. I'm hearing some reports that the farmers, the MAGA's mad. The MAGA farmers, they mad at Trump because he done spent a bunch of money over in China for soybeans or something like that. You could have got that at home. So your MAGA got played. But y'all didn't have no problem when the black farmers was trying to get their reparations. Y'all said no. So you got played again. When the black farmers was trying to get what was duly owed to them, they didn't even want to give them a loan to get their farms back up. So now everybody's suffering. Like I told you, this will not be just Negroes getting the sharp end of the stick and the dagger. We will not be the only ones getting cut with the katana. You will be a Negro in America soon. You're going to see what it feels like to be a Negro in America. I've been taking the Oracle AI certification exam, or under the Oracle University. I was looking at something that they could do, and I figured they could already do it. But they got stuff in AI right now where you could upload the image and it shows how many percentage is the animal, how many percentage is the land, how much percentage. I mean, it could look. I mean, it was crazy. I'm sitting there looking at it because y'all know I know a lot about technology and stuff like that. But I got into the mind when I'm in learning, I start acting like I don't know a damn thing. I start acting like I'm some plebiscite babbling idiot when it comes to learning something new. That way I keep my mind open. So I sit up there and I say, all right, I'm going to act like I don't know a damn thing. I'm going to relearn or retool my brain. And I'm sitting there looking at this Oracle Cloud like, man, they could do that. So it's all about data when they start talking about the different things, neural networks and machine learning. And there's a difference. AI and machine learning is different. Did y'all know that? I'm going to post that in this video. AI and machine learning is different. And I'm sitting here just bewildered like, man, look at this technology. Like, man, this shit ain't good, bro. Like, it's cool for us to use as a tool. I said, but in the end, this stuff they doing, and they is doing what they show us. They done already had this shit 20 years ago. They done already had it 20 years ago. AI is actually old. I just want y'all to know that. But AI as we can use it, we didn't have access to it. They gave it to the public after actually it was perfected. That was a prototype for them. It's been a prototype for over 30-something years. AI, the concept of AI is not new. It's fancy and it's sexy and it's flashy for me because I like to make memes of Dr. Umar or something like that, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's new when it comes to us doing images and creating music and doing all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, y'all should take it. It's free until October 31st. Y'all should take Even if you don't pass the exam, at least take it. It's the Oracle. It's called the OCI, the AI Foundations. And there's several. If you knock it out real quick, you only got a week. You could take 3 or 4 certifications for free. I'm getting into it a little late, man, because I had a lot going on. I had too much going on in my life in the last 3 weeks, man. I'm not even gonna get into what all happened, but I mean, I had a little bit too much going on. But I probably should have made a little bit more time outside of being exhausted. But sometimes, man, exhaustion, you break through it. You know, that builds more character, man. Just do it while you're exhausted. So I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna do all this studying, dead tired. But like I say, I'm gonna start having more interviews with IT professionals. I just ain't got around to it. I still got to build my studio up, but I think I'm gonna find a way to get it to y'all anyway. Over and out.